Yo, what is good YouTube? It's the Deli back with another Destiny 2 Onslaught build video, and today we're going to take a look at my Void Warlock. In this build, we are going to be able to spam our Vortex Grenades, and in return it's going to give us a lot of super energy. We're also going to create a ton of orbs for ourselves and our fire team and constantly weaken enemies. Let's take a look at the build. Alright, now jumping into the build, we are going to be using the exotic gauntlets, the Controverse Hold. Controverse Hold's armor perk is Chaotic Exchanger. Resist incoming damage while charging your Void Grenade. Charge Void Grenades return grenade energy on a hit. These are very strong, and they're also a classic exotic for Warlock. We're going to be able to spam our Vortex Grenade. It's going to suck enemies in, and it's going to just do really big damage because we're also going to be able to apply Weaken via one of our fragments. This is a very strong exotic for Onslaught because it's very good for crowd control and for bosses as well because it's going to weaken them. The exotic weapon we're going to be pairing with Controverse Hold is the Wither Horde. Wither Horde's intrinsic trait is Primeval's Torment. Projectiles fired by this weapon blight the target or nearby area on impact. Its trait is Break the Bank. Blighted targets take damage over time and blight the nearby area on death. This is a very strong combo because when we throw that Vortex Grenade out, it's going to bring enemies in. So you just shoot Wither Horde down at the ground as well, and it just does really big damage to big groups of enemies. And if you have the Catalyst, it's going to auto reload our Wither Horde for us. So that's a nice bonus added on top. Alright, now taking a look at our super abilities, aspects, and fragments, I'm going to be using Cataclysm Nova Bomb. You could swap this out for Vortex. I just really like Cataclysm. For our abilities, we're going to be on Healing Rift. Our jump is going to be Preference. I like Burst Glide. We only have one melee option here, Pocket Singularity, but this does apply Volatile to targets you do hit, and it's going to pair very well with one of our weapons of choice. For our grenade, we are going to be using Vortex Grenade. This is the best grenade for Controverse Hold. Very strong grenade. For the aspects, we're going to be using Feed the Void. Defeat a target with a Void ability to activate Devour. Your Devour effects are improved, restoring additional health and grenade energy. So you can see the synergy here with Controverse Hold. It's going to be giving us grenade energy back on hit. And then we're going to have Devour up at all times because we're going to constantly be getting grenade kills. So that's even more grenade energy, and it's going to heal us on kill as well. This is a very strong aspect. Our second aspect of choice is going to be Chaos Accelerant. When we hold our grenade button, it's going to overcharge your grenade, and since we're on Vortex Grenade, it's going to increase the size and the duration of our vortex. So this is really nice. It's going to just be on the field even longer, doing more damage over time. Very nice aspect to pair in this build. Now jumping into our fragments, our first fragment of choice is going to be Echo of Undermining. Your Void Grenades weaken targets. This is a -22 discipline, but this is a very strong fragment in this build since we're going to be spamming grenades. So this is a constant 15% debuff on targets we hit. Our second Void fragment is going to be Echo of Instability. Defeating targets with grenades grant volatile rounds to your Void weapons. This is a +10 to our strength. This is a very nice aspect since we're going to be spamming our grenades. We're going to have constant volatile rounds, which is going to allow our Void weapons to stun barrier champions. It's a really nice fragment. Alright, now taking a look at our third Void fragment, we're going to be using Echo of Harvest. Defeating weakened targets creates an Orb of Power and a Void Breach. This is a -10 to our intellect. So you can see the synergy here. Echo of Undermining is going to allow our grenades to weaken, so we're going to be creating an Orb of Power and a Void Breach every grenade kill, and we're going to be using a certain armor mod that creates an Orb of Power on grenade kills as well. So every grenade kill is going to give you 2 Orbs of Power and a Void Breach. Very strong. Our fourth fragment of choice is going to be Echo of Starvation. Picking up a Void Breach or an Orb of Power grants Devour. This is a -10 to our recovery. So this is a bit overkill. You could sub this out for something like Echo of Persistence where your Devour is going to last longer, but I like Echo of Starvation because we're going to be creating tons of orbs and Void Breaches, and it's just going to refresh our Devour for us. This is a really strong combo in this build because if you're weak after, getting shredded by enemies or anything, pick up that Void Breach, instant 100 HP. Pick up that Orb of Power, instant 100 HP. So it's really nice to keep cycling Devour over and over without having to kill an ad. Alright, now taking a look at our weapons of choice, we went over our Wither Horde. in the kinetic slot. In our energy slot, I'm going to be using the Void Head Cannon Word of Crota. I have Adrenaline Junkie and Demolitionist on my roll, which is very, very good and plays into the build. On Grenade Kill, I'm going to get ×5 Adrenaline Junkie, which is going to allow this to do some pretty good damage. And I'm going to have Volatile rounds on it as well. And I also have Demolitionist, which is going to give me even more grenade energy on kill. This is a very strong hand cannon to run in this build. But if you don't have Word of Crota, any weapon with Demolitionist and Adrenaline Junkie will work in this build, preferably a void weapon. And in the heavy slot, I'm going to be using an Edge Transit with Envious Assassin and Bait and Switch. This is just really strong when we get to the boss room. Very solid option in this build. Now taking a look at our armor and armor mods, on our helmet, we're going to be using 1 Harmonic Siphon, Rapid Void Weapon Final Blows create an Orb of Power. We're also going to be using 2 Ashes to Assets. So this is how we're going to get our super really fast. We're going to be throwing those Vortex Grenades out all the time, and we're going to get our super back really, really fast. So in this build, don't be afraid to throw that super out. Don't need to hang on to it because we're going to get it back fast anyway. On our Controverse holds, we're going to be using 2 Grenade Kickstart. When your grenade energy is fully expended, your armor charge is consumed, and you gain grenade energy for each armor charge used. This is really, really nice in this build. It just plays into it even more. We're going to constantly have this grenade up at all times. We're also going to be using 1 Firepower. Your grenade final blows create orbs of power. On our chest armor, this is always preference. I'm using it charged up, so we're going to be able to have 4 stacks of armor charge instead of 3. In the background gameplay, I wasn't using charged up, but as I kept testing this build, I felt charged up was a little better. It helped me get that grenade back even faster. And then I'm just running arc resist and harmonic resistance here. I like to change this according to the threat and the activity I'm playing. On our leg armor, we're going to be using 1 Innervation, reduces grenade cooldown each time you pick up an orb of power. We're also going to be using 1 Recuperation, replenishes health each time you pick up an orb of power. You could sub this out and run another Innervation. Since we are going to have Devour at all times, we really don't need that health, but this is just for added protection. Then we're also going to be using 1 Stacks on Stacks. Picking up an Orb of Power grants you 1 additional stack of armor charge. This is nice, so when we do pick up an orb, it's going to give us 2 stacks instead of 1. So picking up just 2 orbs is going to give us a full 4 stacks. And on our Warlock Bond, we're going to be using Double Bomber. So when we throw that Rift down, we're going to get some grenade energy cooldown. And we're also going to be running 1 Reaper. After we use our class ability, our next final blow is going to spawn an Orb of Power. So this is just another free way to generate orbs. Alright, so here's a quick summary of the build. You can see all the armor mods I used here. My stat distribution here, I like to focus 100 resilience and 100 discipline. The artifact mods, you could use blast radius since we're going to be using Wither Horde, so this is another way to get free armor charge. And I would also recommend Wished into Being. While your super is nearly fully charged, ability final blows spawn orbs of power. This is really nice. It's going to spawn 3 orbs for us. And you can see my weapons here and the respective roles. Here is a quick drip check of the build. You can see the shaders and armor pieces I used here. Alright, now that is going to be it for the build. If you try this build and liked it, let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn that notification bell on for more Destiny 2 Onslaught build videos coming very soon. I will have the dim link down in the description below, and I will also have the link to my Discord as well. Once again, my name is The Deli. Thanks for watching, and peace.